Jimbikeman, Panama City, Florida. And I've got a simple solution to where we can get rid of all these boom cars in the United States. You give anybody who reports in the future ticket or court fine $100 off. And that means including in any loud homes or businesses. And the violators will be forced to have to do service, community service, to the vets that are shot up. Not only that, this also protects emergency vehicles. Now, I'm facing charges under harassing, that's the judge, Shane R. Van, in Panama City, Florida, June 15, 2015. I'm supposed to go to a jury trial. Now this right here is showing. Now this has been going on. I had charges filed on me 6 months ago. Now this is showing Brittany Forrester, who is the Assistant State's Attorney. I have an idea she probably just came out of the Florida bar. Just got her, but forget about her oath. If it wasn't for Title IX in the first place, U.S. Code Title IX, she wouldn't have had this position in the first place. She would have been laughed at if the men did not give her a chance. Now this is showing where I got this notice to appear. See the date right there? That's the date right there. 6/02/2015. Now, this is the paper that I needed, a magic paper, in order to be able to get my discovery, that's called 3.220 discovery, from the state's attorney's office. And it's absolutely amazing how I could not, if it wasn't for Doug White of the Public Pretender's Office, I would have never been able to get my so-called discovery, which is hardly nothing at all. It didn't show the names of the so-called victims. It didn't give me any kind of transcripts about what they said, what kind of interview was done by the cops or anything like that. So basically, I have nothing at all to go on. Now, these are some things that I'm asking my potential jury to do. I want them, 1, to use their common sense. 2, who started the problem? 3, who could prevent the problem? 4, why didn't the cops stop the problem? 5, what was their motive to allow the problem to go on? 6, who is more able to stop these boom car punks? 7, who has the duty to stop these boom car punks? 8, who trains to stop these boom car punk crimes? 9, why do public servants take an oath in the first place if they conveniently lie on it? 10, who is the one that gets automatic state cooperation? I called the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. I've gone to city council meetings. I contacted State Representative Jimmy Petronas and nothing was ever done. I've gone to the school board meeting where Mike Jones was there, Johnny Brock was there, Thelma Rohn was there in the Bay County School, John McAllister was there, trying to get something done about these boom car punks. Okay, now, 12, cops can easily force assistance. That's under 3015GH and 90118. Okay? These boom car punks endanger emergency vehicles. That's under 80610 of the Florida statutes. They could always put up loud boom car, loud muffler prevention signs. And that right there under 80610 of the Florida statutes would protect our fine emergency vehicles, fire and ambulance. 14, the perfect cop crimes cover-up is actually a serious felony. So that cop who charged me, he can go to prison minimum, third-degree felony, 5 years. But that same thing was done to Walter Scott, who was shot 5 times in the back in South Carolina, where the cop threw down the taser, and if it wasn't for an independent video camera, we would have never known that the cop committed a crime. 15, I'm punished for protecting my fellow Americans. 16, put yourself in my shoes. 17, how many other people have called and been hung up on, been rudely treated and everything like that? One time I went to Panama City Police Department, and I said I would like all the boom car tickets, that's 316, 30, 45 of the Florida statutes. And they said, oh, you have to name the individual people. So they make it very hard for an individual to be able to do any kind of research. It's just like the clerk of the courts. They don't have cases very simple where you can see them right next to the case name next to the charge or anything like that. You got to go a bunch of ridiculous steps to get to it. Now, reasonable doubts. Cop entrapment. 1. Cop entrapment. 2. Forced arrest calls. 3. Home castle rights. That goes back to Magna Carta. 4. Cop arrest duties. 3015 of the Florida statutes. G and H. 5. Cops lied on their oath, a convenient lie, to get this, become a cop. 6. I have right to stand my home ground in my home, where I sleep. It's supposed to be the most protected place in America. 7. Florida Constitution, Article 2, Section 7 of the Florida Constitution says, unnecessary noise will not be tolerated. 8. Felony home invasion, when the concussion of those speakers come into my home, barge in my home way past 25 feet, wake me up out of my sound sleep. If I can get any, 2 hours is the most I can get. That's 8, 9. The State's Attorney's Office, it's their duty to arrest these boom cars. It's called enjoining the problem or injunction. They use their fancy names, but they haven't done it. 10. Crime Stopper says you don't have to give your name. Now we've got 11. It's called misprision of treason. 876. 33. That means it is the duty of any citizen, when they know there's a seditious, harmful organization, it is my duty to contact the cops, a judge, or anybody like that, and let them know what's going on. Now we've got boom car prevention signs that could be put up, but they just as soon have these idiotic don't play in the fountain signs, flood zone signs, so many idiotic signs. Then we got 13, felony eardrum assault. That's a second-degree felony. When it happens to be the same thing like somebody come behind somebody and smacking their ears real hard. That's called a concussion. 14, the maximum car noise that they can have is 25 feet, which I don't know why they didn't make it to where they had to have no noise coming out of the vehicle whatsoever. Then we got 15, streetcar gangs, 874-02. Hell, they're going down the road in their car on the street. What the hell more do you need? 16, cop protected terrorism. That's under 775 and 895-03 of the Florida statutes, which is cop racketeering. Then we got selective prosecution on me. And then we got vindictive prosecution. That's 17, 18, 19. Tina Allison, not arrested. Why not? 4 years. She calls about speeding cars, not about boom cars, at 8th Street and Oak Avenue in Panama City, Florida. Zach McDonald is the one that wrote the story in the Panama City News-Herald. She's not arrested. 20, cops are on the road 24 hours a day. What's their excuse for not getting every one of these punks that are going up and down the road? Cops can use video cameras. The dispatchers invited to conduct. God knows how many other people that the dispatchers have hung up on and frustrated, only calling in these American terrorists. 23, I did not start the trouble. 24, cops trivialize the boom cars. They go, oh, well, kids will be kids, or oh, we've got murders and all different kinds of things that we have to, that are a lot bigger fish to fry than these boom cars. Well, that plays into the cops, because then the cops know if there's noisy neighbors, they're going to be fighting and they can throw more people in jail. And I guess people just ain't caught on to that. Okay? Cops can take the boom car under 784-08 of the Florida statutes. That's, pardon me, 874-08 of the Florida statutes. They can, I've been arrested, past boom car call arrests 2 times on these boom cars. 2011 I was arrested. Lauren Benecke, who was the state's attorney, dropped the charge on me where I called the sheriff's department hundreds of times. Many, many days. Trying to do something about these boom car punks. 27. Cops protected a guy named Danny Cashmere Pipers who pulled a knife out on me. He's yet to go to jail for assault with a deadly weapon, who terrorized me for 10 years. Then we got where the cops put the emergency vehicles in danger. That's 80610 of Florida statute. And then the cops could very easily, 29, ask the public to help them up signs to report boom cars. And then we got 30, boom car terrorist organization. That's 874-03 of the Florida statute. Got 31, Florida governor has the duty under Chapter 14 of Florida statutes to protect all Americans in the state of Florida. Then we got 32, where they charged the true victim with the crime, the perfect cop crime that was done to Walter Scott, that was shot in the back 5 times in South Carolina by a cop. And if it wasn't for an independent video camera where the guy scared to death, he turned it in. He was even thinking about erasing it because he feared reprisals. 33, loud car home arrest trap. Because cops know that if somebody calls up and asks somebody, would you mind turning down the stereo, you got an enemy for life. Anytime that there's any kind of problems or anything like that, anytime the cops are called, automatically you're labeled as the snitch. And God knows how far that goes. How many people have been retaliated against, where they feel they're prisoners in their own home, trying to be able to live in their own home, and then you got these punks who decide that they have more rights than you. The noisy people have more rights than the people trying to live in peace.